Hey traders from around the world, what's going on? It's your boy Jeremy Alexander Newsome with Real Life Trading. Hope you're doing absolutely phenomenal. It is most certainly Fantastic Friday. Thanksgiving is next weekend, and I hope you all have amazing weekend plans and plans next week with your friends and family. A lot for us to be thankful for, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let's go ahead and get into some of the stocks that you guys requested. So SPY today, we barely made a higher high and a higher low. I called the open this morning in the trading room, and our analysis was, I feel the SPY is a tad extended, meaning I feel like it was going to do pretty much exactly what it did today, pull back a little bit. I was looking at maybe getting into some calls on the pullback, but I decided against that. It just didn't really look that great. But anyway, 219.55, very strong resistance. I will be looking tomorrow being Monday. I'll be keeping an eye on SPY to maybe get some bear call spread premiums, something up in here, the 220, 221, 222 for either next week or the week after. I'm just going to be watching it. I think there's a lot of similarities here. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I think there's a lot of similarities on SPY with this candle and the one that we got today. Realistically, the days that preceded it, right? Nice little pennant pattern, breaks out with 3 bullish candles in a row. Nice pennant pattern, breaks out with 3 bullish candles in a row, and then you get that bearish candle. I think that's where we're at. We'll have to see, but I think we go a little bit higher maybe on Monday and then maybe flat line. With lower volume going to the holiday season. So 220 or 221 bear call spread. I'll just be keeping an eye on that. Here's the Qs, and this note was posted this morning before market open, looking for a small bearish high wave candle today, right? It was a white candle gapping up, and it did gap up into a little bit of a resistance. Got to give a shout out to a lot of traders who did get the opportunity of taking our weekly options newsletter trade setup. It triggered on Wednesday morning. And by yesterday afternoon, most traders had locked in a 100% gain in one day trading QQQ calls, 116.50. Some traders, we still have some positions going into next week. We'll keep an eye on that one, but no way we lose on that trade. Very excited about that. So congrats for all those who got a chance to snag some gains on the Qs. The other indices really quick, the ETFs, here's your IWM, made a little bit of a higher high and a higher low. And then, of course, here's your Dow Jones ETF with a little bit of a bearish candle. So again, looking for a rest or a slowdown possibly towards the end of next week with the holidays. Markets are closed on Thursday and they close early on Friday. Just as an FYI, if you're hearing my voice, Real Life Trading is indeed closed Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week for pretty obvious reasons. Yeah, but again, you can always email me if you have any questions. I'll be happy to help. And yeah, pretty pumped about it. So let's go look at some particular stocks. Got a lot of requests today. First, let's go ahead and hop over to AMD. AMD had some nice moves. This is Advanced Micro Devices. And what I want to do is I want to pull up the AMD analysis that I did a few weeks ago on AMD as it was approaching into earnings season. So earnings season was really mid-October, which is right about there. And I had a phenomenal new white soldier candle pattern on AMD off the 100 simple moving average on the 11th of November. So my analysis, again, if you get a chance, make sure you follow us on TradingView. We do have a goal of 1,000 followers on TradingView. That was a 2016 goal. We are very, very close, my friends. We're at 907 followers right now. So if you are not following us on TradingView, feel free to do so. It's totally free and you get all the charts that we post. But here is AMD. This was posted over a month ago, pre-earnings analysis. And realistically, I was just kind of saying, hey, here's what I'm thinking. And it gapped down on the 100 simple moving average. Looks like a buy the bounce. That was pretty much about it. So AMD did gap down, did trade into the 100 simple moving average, and did bounce off of that area. So Adam, my good friend, great job trading that one, buddy, for 100% gain. Good volume on AMD. So what next? Here's your weekly chart. Weekly chart looks like a wave 5 pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The question now just remains, how high will AMD go? If you're not already in, you're chasing it just a little bit. But I think AMD could realistically make it into this next resistance at approximately 982. Once it hits that, it really likely will pause for quite some time. I could see a lot of similarities between this move, back in 2009 to 2010 time frame, and the move we're looking at right now. So just kind of look at some similarities, but 982 for anyone in AMD, strong possible setup. Jason Jones, I want to give him a shout out, ladies and gentlemen. A big testimony for Jason. I was emailing him over the last few days, and he said, hey, Jeremy, you know what? Financially, I feel like the trading rooms are absolutely worth it, but I need to cancel because I just have a lot of financial stresses right now. And then a few hours after emailing me that, he said, you know what, Jeremy? There's no way I can cancel the trading room, man. I know it's absolutely worth it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to work on quitting smoking so I can take the money that I use on cigarettes and apply it to the trading room. And I was like, man, that's awesome. So I just want to give a shout out to Jason. That's incredible. You know, I personally am not a smoker. If you are, you know what? Jason is just simply saying, hey, I know it's worth it being around really good traders, being around a positive group of people who every day are attacking the markets with a perspective and a focus on trading a plan, being disciplined, mitigating risk, and of course, enriching lives. So Jason, just want to give you a shout out, man. Props to you. Thanks so much for working hard and being a real life trader. Dry ships and pretty much the sea freight shipping sector in general went bananas the last 5 or 6 days. Truly and legitimately bananas. Here's the daily chart. And apologies for anyone who just got absolutely smoked out there on Wednesday. There were a lot of traders on Twitter, and I was causing some beef on some traders on Twitter who were just talking about going long on Wednesday and how that anyone who was shorting on Wednesday was an idiot and so on and so forth. Well, first and foremost, it was almost impossible to short shares on dry ships on Wednesday, mostly because of the low float and the lower volume that was coming in. It was just very, very difficult to borrow. Number two, dry ships got halted on Wednesday due to the massive growth, and also halted for some of the part on Thursday. And this gap down that occurred yesterday, there was really nothing you could do about it to take advantage of the bearish move. It was extremely difficult to short. And if I hop over here to a 5-minute chart, you'll see that it just opened and it went from like 50 to 40 to 30 in about 15 minutes, just gapping over everybody's order, and it got halted. So anyway, dry ships, in my personal opinion, was a flash in the pan. There was some news that came out about Trump and some tariffs and some embargoes and so on and so forth, saying, oh man, any kind of shipping freight stock or sector is going to go wild. Anyway, so there was definitely some money to be made for sure if you went in long, if you were able to buy and able to get out very, very quickly. If you are still in dry ships, I'm sorry. I hope you can get out for a little bit of a protected loss. On the hourly time frame, if you're looking at buying it, here's my personal opinion, here's my personal advice on dry ships. I think it's already made its move, and it's just going to slowly just go back down to where it was, back down to zero. And again, it's really, really hard to take advantage of that bearishly because there's no real options. There's not, well, there is and was a little bit of tons of volume recently. But anyway, there's a lot of other stocks out there that are a little bit more manageable, like SSW, I believe. Let me pull up SSW, C-SPAN Corporation. We're looking at this one in Transportation Thursday yesterday in the afternoon. So if you're looking at trading one of these deep sea freight transportation companies, this one's a little bit more, well, I should say, a lot more stable than Top Ships or Dry Ships. SSW, if you're looking at trading the stock, yes, it's been absolutely mangled the last few days and weeks, but at some point, if it does make it way down to $6, I think that could be a good buying opportunity. But if you hop over here to a weekly time frame and just really zoom out, you'll see that $6, good buying location, and 1048 was a really, really good support. Maybe we can hang out there a little bit longer, but we'll just kind of have to wait and see. I got to give a shout out to it. Just a lot of shout outs recently. I know it's too good. GPS, Gap. I got to give a shout out to Matt Spray, good buddy Ludwig, of course, Latoya, a few other traders, Rob Cole. A lot of traders did very well on GPS. Also want to give a shout out to my good friend and a great trader in Toronto, Maria, who spotted this trade early this morning, and obviously a phenomenally perfect bearish gap and go on GPS, and just gave all the right signals. I mean, just so beautiful, gorgeous rollover right there. You can see it, just traded down into the 10, rolled over like a gem. For all those traders who took that, fantastic job. We were watching this one all day, just trade lower in the morning room. A lot of traders did very well. So anyway, I just want to give a shout out to those who did Super well on Gap. Fantastic stuff. Well done. There's a lot of other retail gaps today, like Abercrombie and Fitch and Buckle. Pretty much all the places I like to shop. There's a lot of gaps. There's a lot of gaps on retail. Abercrombie also gap down, bearish gap and go, and create this cute little 5-minute candle. Nice small white 5-minute candle right here. Took out the low of that, retested the low off the 10, rolled down as well in Abercrombie. So if you got a chance to play that one probably worked out for 2R. So Gap and or Abercrombie worked out. My good buddy Vlad, who has been trading really well recently, traded Marvel Technology as a bullish gap. And Marvel Technology did open and gap up nicely today with some good volume. Didn't quite open in my green zone, but it did retest a little bit, giving some traders a good buying opportunity on MRVL. Let's go look at the dollar index, which is very interesting today. So the dollar index and the U.S. dollar makes a new high, breaking the 14-year high 2 days in a row. Here's the dollar index on a weekly chart. And the dollar index on a weekly chart, give me about 7 seconds. I know you guys have seen me post my analysis on the dollar index, but I got to just brag a little bit to some of the traders out there in real life trading, just how amazing they are. This analysis, there's actually 2 analyses here that I want to share with you. And we were working on this for a while in the trading room. And this does help really with your macro perspective of the markets and what's going on. But here's the analysis that some traders came up with back in October 2015. So over a year ago on the dollar index, we predicted together that the dollar index would trade down to 93 and then go back up to 100. Check this out. Boom. Got to press the play button again. Boom. Now, obviously, it took a little bit longer than it was drawn, but right when you're just drawing freehand, you don't know the exact day. But I mean, some of these wave rotations. Look at this, just incredible, incredible. Right off support, traded right back up to here, and then so after that, after this, the move did come down. Our analysis back in April of 2016, this year, was okay, guys. Here it is. It's out of support. Buy low, sell high, and there it is. Boom. Just bounced off clearly, beautifully. So Forex traders did very, very well. Long-term traders, macro traders, dollar index bounced beautifully. The dollar is now at an all-time high. Not all-time high, I apologize. A 14-year high. If I zoom out, check that out. It's higher than it's been since 2002. So at this point, is this a great time to buy the dollar? Well, yes, but let it pull back a little bit because you've missed the move, right? You're buying high, hoping that it goes higher. Let it pull back, let it retrace a little bit, and then look to buy the bounce. It is a breakout of a channel, but if you're not in, you are missing it slightly already. So let it pull back and then buy the dip. As that goes higher, silver and gold probably will go down a little bit again, giving a lot of traders an opportunity to buy low, sell high on both gold and silver on a longer term scale. So that'll be interesting to see kind of what transpires. Here's Apple today, lost an R on an Apple options trade, which absolutely will happen, right? We had a great risk, only risked 10 cents on that option trade. Just didn't work today, at least for me. No big deal. I do want to give a shout out to Niels, who had a 106 put sale expire worthless. Ford Schwartz had a 108, 107 for next week. So he's holding on to that one. Brandon Tucker has a 105 put sale for December. Adrian Lee looks like he's a proud owner of some new shares on Apple, which is a great look, in my opinion. Here's your weekly perspective on Apple. And if I look at just the candles, and I really hide all my drawings here for just a second, you can see a pretty gorgeous hammer type of candle this week on Apple. If it starts to bounce, this would be a higher low, and that's kind of what a lot of traders are hoping that it does. This November 130 covered call on Apple did expire worthless. That one is done and over with and locked in. 2 other trades I want to look at really quick before we go is Amazon. This was requested by Peter, and Amazon traded down to some really good supports as well. In fact, again, here's the weekly chart. Weekly chart, you got this ginormous hammer-looking candle on Amazon. Personally, on a weekly, I would love for something like this and this to come in. I don't know if that's exactly what happens, but I would really, really like that kind of rotation to occur because Amazon's had some really massively strong gains as of recently. But otherwise, on the daily time frame, here's the 200 simple moving average. Amazon had some great bounces, and you'll see back on the 14th of November, I wanted to get into a bull put spread on Amazon, there was just no premium, unfortunately, so I didn't get a chance to do that. But on Amazon, I'm kind of keeping an eye around the 780 level for something like this to happen. I don't know if it's going to occur, but again, I would like some type of wave rotation like this on Amazon. So I'm keeping a slight eye on a bearish rotation because this is a pretty decent bearish gap that occurred on earnings. But right now, I don't have any trade personally on Amazon. Long term, on a longer term scale, absolutely bullish, no question. On a short to intermediate scale, looking for a potential rollover on Amazon and then maybe another buy the bounce opportunity. Didn't get a chance to make any money on the bull put spread. That's sad, but it happens sometimes. All right, and last but not least for today was Ross Dress for Less, ticker symbol ROST. This is a nice gap as well. Here's a weekly chart on Ross, and this stock is just going wild. One of the few retail stocks that are just really, really screaming higher and higher and higher. It's at an all-time high today. Very, very difficult to be buying up here. I do see a very nice double bottom with volume. So really, in my opinion, that simply says, hey, if you're looking at buying, look to buy the dip, right? Buy low, sell high. On a daily chart, this is most certainly a white candle gapping up to an all-time high, meaning this is a retest gap. So on Ross, here's your exponential moving averages. If the stock can pull back into a moving average, something like this, and bounce off of approximately 65, that's where I would be keeping an eye on it to go bullish on Ross Stores Incorporated. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for watching this Friday Real Life Stock Review. I really appreciate it. You guys are absolutely fantastic. Have a great weekend. I will see you Monday in your next free Real Life Stock Review. If you have any requests, let me know. You can message me, Jeremy at Real Life Trading. You can put them in the comment section below. Post them on Twitter, @NewSomeNuggets. You guys are absolutely rock stars. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you Monday. And until then, remember, love life, live life, and trade it. See you guys later. Bye.